Okay, I accidentally hit it twice and it didn't say, I don't know what it usually says, but hi
Yeah.
there.
We'll find out. Looks like we're recording, so that's good.
I know.
Hello, everybody. Good morning.
Good morning. It is Tuesday, June 7th. And we are two psychic moms.
Yes, yes.
And we're here.
Back again.
Tammy, where are you?
Yeah, I know, right? This was, I believe, in Corfu in Greece. Yes.
You see that TV show about oh, I can't remember the name of it, but it's something about the people, the family that goes back to Corfu.
Yeah.
It
Yeah,
was
I watched that.
It was
It was
great.
It was good. It was good. Yeah, Corfu is a beautiful, beautiful place. I'm thinking, hey, since it's summer, almost, well, not officially, but you know, it's June.
I know,
Yeah.
it's close. Countdown, I guess, for people, they say it's countdown.
Right. And how about you, Julie?
I am in Galaxy's Edge. Not at Disneyland, but on another planet, and that's a spaceship up above me, but I can't remember which one from this angle. Can't remember if it's an X-wing or something else, but somebody would know, but
Yeah.
it's not me. But yeah, it's I'll next time I'll have the marketplace up or something. So we're two psychic moms. We channel our guides to answer your questions that are questions that will benefit the wider population. Of course, if you want to know answers to questions about you, then we do private readings. I'm the bizpsychic.com, and I'm social media at bizpsychic. And Tammy, you're all over the place. Where are you?
Yeah, so I'm tammy'sintuitive.com for my website, Tammy's Intuitive Services for social media, TikTok, Instagram, Facebook. And then I do have another YouTube channel, Tammy's Channeled Chats as well. So we are very pleased to have another question for us to respond to and to give some channeled or a channeled response to. And Daphne, thank you again for these really great questions. So
it's so funny because her question is what I was wondering last week. I'm like, I don't know if I think I said it out loud at the end of the video, at the end of our episode. And it was before she heard it, that then she heard our video, our episode, and she's like, oh, you read my mind. That's the question I want to ask. So I guess it's topical. So there we go. All right.
Yeah. Great. So do you want me to read what it is, and I'll let you jump into it? How's that sound? Okay.
Sure.
That all right for you?
Sure.
Okay. We'll both give some kind of feedback here. Okay. So the questions were, what is the status of our democracy? Let's see. Along those lines, may I also ask if a recession is coming? If it is, how long will this recession last? The inflation rate has been pretty high this year. Will it stabilize soon, or will we have a deflation as an adjustment? Will prices of food, gas, and general expenses stay so high? Thank you. So those are kind of the questions.
Yeah. So there are questions I want to know the answer to. So what is the status of our democracy? And when you read that, my guides first initially said it's on the fence. And it's kind of, it can tip this way or it can tip that way. And that is personally for me very frightening. I hope that it doesn't tip to the getting rid of democracy extreme of authoritarianism, but that's just my personal view. So, because then it wouldn't be America as we know it, is what they just said to me. So, democracy is a tricky thing, they say. There are people who really get hung up, get enmeshed in power, and throw the rule book out the window. And you have many of these people, not just within your government, but supporting the people who make up your government, certain aspects of it, your Congress, your Senate. And so it is a tricky place to be. But what we see is the larger part of the population, the larger part of your government fighting to keep democracy for you, which is not probably news to anybody who follows that. Oh, I got goosebumps. But it's a fight that's been fought before. This is not the first time. And not even since the first time for you as a country was when you became a United States of America. But it has happened periodically after that. As we well know, there have been lesser known battles and greater known battles, such as the Civil War and World War One. And there were people who just refused to see what was truly happening until it was often too late. So the good news is for you, you have a wider part of your population that really does see what is happening and the possibilities and is fighting really truthfully, tooth and nail, I guess that's a phrase, to hang on to your democracy and to make it better. It's always, I think your Constitution says, is there are amendments to it and it grows and changes to adapt to the times, as it should. That's the way it was meant to be. And so when you can convince people that that is the right thing to do, then you'll have a safer place to, it's like, ooh, I just took a breath. Like, it's like, yes, then you can be rest assured that democracy is still going to be present for your country. At this point in time, we feel that the outcome is likely to keep democracy, but there is such a dynamic energy force going on that it's push and pull, push and pull, push and pull. And while it's this moment in time that it feels safe and we feel that the ultimate outcome at this moment in time is to continue to have your democracy, it could change, or parts of it could change. So keep fighting if that's what that's what your country is based on. So we say keep fighting. Do you want to respond to that? And then we'll go into the inflation.
Sure. Yeah, we can just go by piece if you want. That'd be good. Yeah, I was, thank you, Julie, for all that, because I was getting very similar feelings to, I just kind of felt the question about what is the status of our democracy. It's here to stay, I hear, but I got the same thing kind of like you did. It's like it lit up a little bit more. It goes like this, there's this push pull to it, but definitely it is what oh gosh, got put into the words for me, guides, what I'm getting. Yeah, they're just repeating again. It feels like it's going to stay. It is, a mainstay, I would almost say. And I feel like people, that's what people want. It's certainly the majority, I think, if that's fair to say, the majority, but a large amount of people want the democracy, and that's what the energy shows me. So it doesn't feel like it's really going to be changing for the most part. I think there's enough people that are in that mindset of that way of life that is like they're using those words again, a mainstay. So that's kind of a pretty powerful word to use from our guides. And we do think it's here to stay. They keep repeating the same thing. And I would just agree with everything that Julie was getting. That's kind of what I was getting to that. So I don't really have much more than that to add to it.
Well,
yeah.
I personally like to hear that, well, I don't know, my comments are really necessary, but you don't really think about losing those things until they're on the line.
Yeah.
As they are now with women's rights. So I'm not going to add my 2 cents to that, because it's really about what the guides say. And they're like, oh, add your 2 cents. But no.
Yeah, no, but yeah.
It's anti-democratic. I mean, you're trying to take rights that have been, for all intents and purposes, recognized as the way to this government has acted in the last 50 years, and they're trying to take that away and will likely succeed. And I can't even talk about that because it hurts me in so many ways. So I'm going to skip that. She says, now can I ask, is a recession coming? So if it is, how long will this recession last? The inflation rate has been pretty high. Will it stabilize sooner? Will we have deflation as an adjustment? Will prices okay? So there's multifaceted stuff there. So do you again want to handle that? Sure.
Yeah, okay, so will recession, I mean, I can just ask a question. How long will this recession last? Now, I think of recession because I don't really always, honestly, I'm not super savvy about kind of all those terms and everything. The recession, as I know, is when things are going down. Is that correct? Right. Okay. Just so I'm clarifying. How long will this recession last? Well, they tell me it may not stay that long because other things come and go. There's other, it goes up and down, up and down, up and down. That's the energy that they're showing me to that specific question. But I want to read on a little bit. The inflation rate has been pretty high this year. Will it stabilize soon? So that's what I'm going to ask about. The inflation rate, guides, inflation rate, from what you can see, will it stabilize soon? I'm hearing yes, it's going to stabilize. It will stabilize. Although we say, again, these go up and down. Energy changes with this. It's very hard for us to even keep track of it. That's what they're saying. Because it's, it can be all kind of all across the board here a little bit. But sorry, I just lost my questions here. Okay. Or will we have a deflation as an adjustment? Will there be a deflation? They say to that, yes, there will be a deflation, but as we say, it could last a while longer and then it could go up and down. We don't know for certain, although we do feel that there is change coming in the way things are right now. In our favor, guides, as we would see it, or we would know it as in our favor. Yes, we do feel it will be. And it's going to take time, but it will get here. So if that means it's stabilizing, then yes, it's stabilizing. They said, so you won't need to fear as much as you are now. This is a strong statement, right? Because some people really are in fear about it. And, we're all concerned, right? So fear is a pretty heavy word to use, but I get their point on that. Yeah, they said, we don't think you need to worry, but it's coming and going. It's just, it seems to be, they even show me like somersaulting, flipping over it on itself and doing all kinds of crazy energy stuff. What can we do to kind of help that energetically, guides? I'm wondering. Well, the obvious, to see it as stabilized. Do your visualizations the best you can on that, and anything else that makes sense to do. Okay, do you want me to go with you responded to that, and then we can go to that very last question last, I guess.
Yeah. So a recession typically, as I understand and as what they're supporting my viewpoint here is when the economy contracts. So jobs contract, they fall, and everything that's attached to that falls. I don't know. I personally don't know, what gross domestic product is and all that. I don't really know anything about that either. But that's what they're saying to me. And your jobs have been fairly robust lately. However, this is all COVID related. And so the true stability will come once we exit that third year and move out of COVIDitis. As that's really what they were saying to me. So if you remember, and I've mentioned this many times, when we first named COVID and understood what it was, or back in March of 2019, is that right?
Yeah, I think so.
So
Yeah.
that was our first year, right? And they said it's going to go 3 years, and I was just like shocked. How could it do that? And then, sure enough, there were varieties, and it morphed and all this stuff. And so it was clear to me how then it could last 3 years. We have entered year three. March of 2022 was the beginning of year three. And it will continue to kind of ebb and flow, not just the virus, but all those things that are offshoots and resulting calamities, they're saying, as a result of this pandemic. Okay. And so once there is really much more stability as we now move throughout this year and into next year, there'll be even more stability. Then you're going to see a lot of these things stop doing this roller coaster somersaulting behavior and really then start to thrive again. So they said to me, ride the wave. It is not permanent. We're not going to go, it is unlikely you will go into what they call a full-fledged recession, but it is not typical because the cause is out of our control. And recessions typically have components that are within our control, or we can pull levers to make them do different things, to make the economy respond differently. And we have pretty much used all of those levers. So as the year goes on, as 2022 goes on, you will find these up and downs with things. It was formula now, gas and all kinds of weird things are going to happen. I literally went to the pharmacy to refill a prescription and they told me it's back ordered. And I went, what? I can't have that. So weird things. And so you got to ride the wave. The ship will right itself. Thank you for that. The ship will right itself at more towards the end of this year, again, as we get into the beginning of next year. And then you will start to see, they're giving me maritime analogies, and you'll see full steam ahead. But in the meantime, these quirky things will pop up. Yeah. And gas, as we know, is in large part due to the war between Russia and Ukraine. So, somebody else asked me a question. So I'm going to, which has to do with that. So I want to come back and cover that too, but go ahead and you talk about the price of food, gas, and anything else.
Sure, sure. And, thanks, Julie. And what, when you were kind of speaking, I was kind of going ahead too, and just seeing how things, I feel like in the beginning of next year, we're gonna have so many more high expectations of things. There's something that's happening and booming in a more positive way. Yeah, do you feel that too? It's like, could be the beginning of the next year into the March, maybe, or maybe even before then, maybe from January to March. Take that with a grain of salt. Time can change. But that's my snapshot right now. And it feels like it's like we all come together more of there's this high, I feel like there's this high energy of expectation. And, we've come through a storm. They're saying you will have come through a storm. And as a result, the positive of it is that everybody is ready for this new beginning of positivity. And it's so interesting how we take time so very personal here on the airplane, don't we? So the beginnings of New Year's resolutions and all those kinds of things can be very helpful to us humans, and they're saying, because we kind of like that. We can kind of band together as an energy and, and lift up. So I really hope that that's going to be something that stays with it. And then, so that's all I had to say about that. Did you want me to mention then now about the food and whatever I get on that too? Prices of food, gas, and all that stuff. I'll just address that real quick. So, okay. So, will prices of food, gas, and general expenses stay so high? Yes, for a while. They will for a while.
They may even go higher.
But we do see them going down at some point, although not yet. And it does feel like it escalates, but not that far up. And then it levels out. And then there's this waiting. That's why they're quiet right now. We're waiting. We're just waiting for things to start coming back down. I think it might be a gradual down. again, from what I get right now.
Interesting stuff. Oh, I think I'm gonna sneeze.
Yeah. So anyway, that's what I got on that question, to that question. And oh,
Excuse me.
bless you. I didn't want to ruin your sneeze for you. I don't want to bring the attention to it. Bless you. Okay. So then you were going to address something else, right? On
So
that?
a couple of things. W- As for food, um, we don't know if you're aware of this, but the war between Russia and Ukraine, a lot of the grain supply of wheat comes from those regions. And that has been decimated in Ukraine. So this is going to create a new opportunity for novel approaches to solving our food shortages that will inevitably arise in some of these areas. And and really ultimately, because as your planet grows, you're going to see the need for more types of food supplies anyway. So this is if we can say that there's a benefit that comes out of these 3 years and this horrible war, it is the need to find a way to create better food supplies and food sources. And so that is what is going to happen. You're going to see this bad, moments of this, more than a moment. And then you're going to see new approaches and new solutions. And we see that again coming in right around the beginning of next year, where a lot of this is quieted down and it's like, wow, now we have the bigger problem we have to solve, a few of food shortages. So it's grow your food, grow your own food. I don't eat grain, so but that doesn't help starving third world countries, or us for that matter. So it's not just going to impact them, although it will impact them as well. Somehow third world countries get the least uh, of everything, and that's another whole conversation. So yeah, I think that's what we wanted to say about that.
And too, what you were saying, Julie, I just kind of tuned into what you were saying. And yeah, I feel like there is this maybe other course of action, with the food based on what you were first saying there. It's like it went, goes maybe high, gets stuck there a little bit, and then there's this other avenue. So I think that just means, yeah, that there's a different way of looking at it, or ideas to.
So what they're showing me is that you're putting out fires, right? You're dealing with COVID, then you're dealing with inflation, then you're dealing with or you're dealing with unemployment, then you're dealing with food. You're constantly putting out fires, and until all those fires can slow down and come burn, just sort of burn themselves out and become embers, then you can attack the bigger problems that you really should be attacking, which of course is global warming. And it's a big problem, and we don't need to reemphasize that, but yeah, governments need to get on it. It's not going to go away. So and now you're looking at the food shortages too. So not anything that really you need to go, oh my God, am I going to starve? No, again, we see third world countries being the being, what's the opposite of the benefit? They're
Taking
being,
the brunt of it in a sense.
yes,
Yeah.
exactly, as they always do. Thanks. Sometimes when they're talking to me, sometimes I cannot find the
Yeah,
word. It's like, well, because they're not just talking, they're showing, they're
yeah, right.
knowing. It's all this above. I was trying to explain this to a friend of mine the other day.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we try to bring in a cohesive picture of what that might be, as we always say. It is what it is at this moment in time.
Mm.
And there you have it. So
Right. Yes, and yes. So was that the end of those?
yeah.
Yeah, just for fun, let me see, the cost of gasoline, guys, and it's so high lately. Does it feel like it's going to stay high? Or what's the thoughts on it coming down, the prices of gas specifically? It's not going to stay the same for that much longer. Starts to come down. It starts to come down. We'll see what's happening in August.
Mm.
Again, take it with a grain of salt, as they say,
Mhm.
on the timing, but it does feel like it starts to, now that may, this is just a second thought, that may be obvious because you've got your summer months that tends to go up for car
Right.
travel. So, it's really expensive for everybody who wants to go in their car.
Saying-
And then it might come down anyway, but that is what I'm getting.
They're saying, you see, there's nothing normal about where we're at. So to say, well, it normally goes up at this time, yes, it does. But there's nothing normal about where we've been and where we are still at, even though
Yeah.
we're 2/3 of the way out of it. So predicting certain things, yes, it's a challenge even for us because nothing is normal for you.
Right.
So,
Well
yeah,
said.
right.
Mhm.
All right. And Bella says hello. That was Bella who
Hi, Bella.
she popped into Galaxy's Edge here.
Hi, Bella. Hi, sweetie.
She never looks happy, does she?
Adorable.
Can
I
you
love her. All her white. She's so pretty. Good girl.
She's so needy. All right. So those were questions I wanted to ask as well. So I'm glad that Daphne, you and I were on the same page about that. And while I get certain information, I like when we do this because I often get a much more detailed or fuller picture of things. So and I got to be honest. I mean, one of the things I really want to know about is, the stock market. What do you do? And I'm thinking, you just leave it up to the professionals because it's a wave and we're going to ride the wave. And when we come out a year from now, almost fully recovered from this, we're going to be soaring again. So
Mhm.
ride the waves.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So yes, keep sending us your questions. We
Yep.
love them, appreciate them because, we want to know too. But, inquiring minds need to know, right?
Yeah, yeah, we appreciate those questions for sure. So don't be shy. Put them in the comments. Anything you're just thinking about, even if it seems like a silly question, we're happy to look
Exactly.
at it. So,
All righty. Oh, she sees the birds. So yeah, until next time, we are Two Psychic Moms. Please find us at all the usual places. And we'll see you for the next episode. Don't know whether it will be next week or not, but we'll see you for the next episode.
yeah, we'll see you
then.
soon. Yeah, take care. Bye.